Hello and welcome back, and today I'm going to be doing these paper flower DIY kit. And if you haven't seen my first video of DIY flowers, it's not a part 2, but it's another video where I made DIY flowers, and they are wooden flowers. So go check that out if you haven't seen it because it's really cool. But here's what comes inside of this little kit. So an instruction manual, all the things to make the flowers and the leaves, a drying mat, which you'll see where I'm going to use that later, this painting kit, which again you're going to see where I use it later, and of course a vase. So this is what the painting kit is for, and the drying mat. So you're going to take each of your flower petals, dip them in the water, and then put them on whatever paint color you want for the top of the flower petals to be. So for the yellow, I just chose orange because that made the most sense in my mind, because darker shade of yellow would be orange. And then just did that all the way, and after I finished painting each of them, I put them on the drying mat. And it only took them maybe like 20 minutes to dry, so not too long, and then got started on making the actual flower. So I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's freesia. I could be pronouncing that wrong. But I put out all the flower petals, arranged them in the order that it told me to, which was just the number order, and just put them all out like this. So you can see 3, 4, 5, and I don't think it had a 6 on this one, and then pulled out the rest of the flower. So the part that makes the stem, the actual metal part of the stem, the leaves, and this part to make the center of the flower. So I just folded that in half and then wrapped it around on the top of the metal part, which was really simple, and started placing all the flowers. And compared to the wooden flower kit, it was so much easier because all I had to do was just stick on the flower petals, then I was done. And then putting on the leaves to make it look more seamless, and then wrapping down the stem. And like I said, so easy. This whole thing took me maybe 30 minutes for this one flower compared to like an hour from the last one. For this next flower, I have a bunch of different flower petals that are in different sizes, and I decided to paint them this purple magenta-ish because I thought it would look a little bit nicer and stand out more compared to the pink. After I let all my petals dry, I flipped to the page that told me how to make it. And this is the large peony, and it said to use the exact same instructions as the medium peony, but you'll see me make that one later in the video because I wanted to make the large one first. So I laid out all the flower petals and then took out the rest of the flower just like in the last one, folded up this middle piece, wrapped it around the center, and then started placing down all my flower petals. And it was correct. It is a large peony because it was huge. After I kept on placing down more and more flower petals, I just thought, oh, it'll be done by now. It'll be done by now. But no, it wasn't. And as you can tell, this is the largest flower. But it was really good for filling up space when I put it in the vase later. So it was kind of nice. After that, I put on the leaves, and I think I was supposed to wrap the stem first, but I didn't do that. And here it is. Next, I got started on the rose. And this one I decided to do pink on the outside because it was a kind of light pink for the petals, and I thought that would look really cute with it. And then I flipped, of course, to the page that told me how to make it. And actually in this picture here, it has like some yellow, so I could have done that. Next, I played around with the little circle part that you saw, and I don't think I put this right because that does not look right. Anyways, I just flattened them all out, fluffed it up, and it looked much better. I wrapped on the stem, and here's how it looks. Super cute. Next, I got started on the medium peony. So this one was just like the large peony, except much smaller. And I decided to do blue because I hadn't used the blue yet, and I just thought it would be kind of a nice color change compared to the magenta, which would kind of blend in with it. And then after that dried, you can tell it looks so good, and I think it looks really nice. Same middle steps, same steps as the large peony anyway. But look at it, so much better. And this one I decided to flip it down, as you can see, so I would be able to make it like more even all the way around. And I think it turned out a little bit more even, and here's how it looks. Then I got started on the bellflower, and at this point I was a pro, so it only took me 2 minutes, but there was also a lot less petals. And after I finished that, I got to use this stem with the ball at the end of it, and I was super excited for it. I thought it was going to be for a leaf when I first opened up this kit, but I'm actually super excited for it, and it looks really cool. Wrapping around the stem, and this one had no leaves on it, so it was really simple and really quick. Then I got started on the leaves. And just like the last flower, super simple, super quick, just adding down a few leaves and then wrapping the stem. And I don't think I had to wrap the stem all the way down for all of the flowers, but I thought it would give them like a more seamless look instead of it just stopping, and I could then resize it however I wanted. After I finished off the leaves, I played around with the vase to get it stuck properly because it was just magnets. And after I finished that, I put on the little like tube part and then got started placing all my flowers down. So here are all my flowers. I just wanted to do the 2 peonies first, then the bellflower, and here's what I'm doing to each of the flowers, just folding them, put down the rose and then the freesia, and I think it looks really nice. I wanted to even out how much pink I had because I knew it was a lot of pink and I wanted to space it out a little bit. And after I put down the leaves and I put it in a proper position, I used one of these little wrappings for the stems to wrap around the flowers so that they would stay in place even if you moved them, and here's how they turned out. I think they look so good and took way less time compared to the wooden flower kit, and if again you haven't seen that, go check it out, and I'll see you next week. Bye!